Warning, this Bleach podcast features mini spoilers from the upcoming anime arc 1000 Year Blood War. So if you've not read the manga or you do not want to hear spoilers for the upcoming arc, viewer discretion is advised. Hey, welcome to the first kind of official ever episode of the Bleach Boys podcast, where we have officially branched off from the Otaku podcast. That's for losers. This one's for winners.
Yeah, we actually bought a new space to record in.
Yeah,
so.
this warehouse ain't cheap, so please leave a like and subscribe.
So we got the box cutters laying around. It's rusty nails all over.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up.
We had to have Sam start an OnlyFans to pay for
it all.
It's
so bad.
But great stuff.
So for those of you guys just now finding the podcast, what we do is I am in the middle of rewatching Bleach from episode 1. So we started as kind of just talking about it organically on the podcast, and we had a series called Bleach Boys that we weren't really doing much with. So now we're making our own thing because we talked for way too fucking long about Bleach. So it's its own podcast, the Bleach Boys podcast, and you guys are going to love it. We're kicking off right in the middle of the Bount arc. Ooh. It's everybody's favorite arc. We've already done the Soul Society arc. We're in the middle of the Bount arc, and boy, do we have a lot to know about Bounts, okay?
Yes.
How much you guys remember about Bounts? Let me ask you. This is a general question.
They have their dolls that we talked about last time.
They have dolls. They fight by using dolls.
Yeah. They are practically immortal.
Okay, yes. Basically, they have literally been said to just have been the reason why the vampire myth exists.
Yep. They will cause an imbalance.
Yep. Okay. Yes.
Because they suck out souls.
Yes.
We don't know what that happens to those souls.
You guys
though.
have been paying attention.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Also, they have a great funny character arc at the beginning.
With the mod souls.
Yeah, with the mod souls.
Which they continue to deliver. Let me tell you, it's fantastic.
One of them survives.
One of them. Spoiler alert. Yes. But that is pretty much what I remember from this arc. And I think we're undecided, and I haven't gotten to that point yet. I think they go to the Soul Society at one point.
I feel like they do. At least the main.
I'm pretty sure they don't go to Huecamundo. They go to the Soul Society.
They'd get dunked on in Huecamundo.
Yeah. It wouldn't go well for them there. Yeah. So where we last left off, we were talking, they were fighting the set of twin Bounts.
Oh, that's right.
Where they were in the hospital water, fighting. They control the water. It's raining.
Oh, that's
It's like, fuck. So the twin Bounts, by the way, they basically could have killed the whole cast at any time. There's multiple times where they basically go to drown them, and they just decide not to for whatever reason. Because they want to get Ishida, because the key to part of the plan for some reason is to have a Quincy.
That's right.
Quincy blood.
He kind of runs off at one point like, we got to go get the Quincy. So they just don't kill the guys. They were in the middle of drowning them, and they leave.
So I remember vaguely that the Bounts weren't necessarily bad guys.
No, they're not.
They just had a motive.
Yes.
And have they revealed that motive yet?
So they have not revealed the motive.
Okay.
The big part that I'm in right now is they are kind of hinting towards their motive. A lot of people are asking why. Why are they doing this?
Gotcha.
What is the reason?
Yeah.
And the leading theory is they want to get to Huecamundo, which that theory for people who haven't seen the previous ones is that if they suck enough souls out of living beings, they will create a space-time rift to Huecamundo because they have so much energy, and it'll fuck everything up.
Have they stated, because Huecamundo is in a later arc.
Yes.
Yeah. What is so important about Huecamundo?
That's just where all the hollows are. I don't know. I don't know.
That's just their world.
Okay.
So, and here's a couple of things I wrote down. And for you guys, I watched this while I'm working out dubbed. Yes. So if there's ever some sort of the words are slightly
pronunciation error,
I have watched dubbed and subbed. So sometimes we will flip back and forth between the words here. So the Bount twins, it says, here's what they said in the thing. They're using that resonance phenomenon that twins are said to have. Just generic twins.
Okay, yeah.
That's how they use their power. Because I don't know if you guys remember, the way they defeat them is they separate the twins.
Yeah.
And they can't really control the Bounts all that, or their dolls all that well when they're separated.
Oh, I couldn't. So I haven't watched it in a minute. I didn't know if they had dolls or if they were each other's dolls. That would have been a cool concept. And they pull out this move at one point. Let me hit you guys with the move, and let me lead this by saying they lose this fight. Okay, I really remember they lose this fight. The Bounts, the water they can control, because that's their doll, can go inside of the human body. Okay, yeah, they're dead.
Right?
Yeah.
Which they do to most of the main cast, and they start drowning. Drowning from the inside.
That's so scary.
Yes.
Yikes.
Yes. And that's the point where they just leave them, and they're like, we got to go get the Quincy.
They'd rather it's not bloodbend?
Wait, what?
Bloodbend?
It's pretty much what they were doing.
I would rather be bloodbend.
It's pretty much what they were doing.
No. Bloodbending is so much more I would prefer to die that way.
I don't know.
I got lungs filled with water.
I've heard that drowning is the most peaceful way to die.
Oh, no fucking way. Hello?
It looks crazy, but it's everyone says that when you finally take that breath of
a sharp,
water,
cold
it's
pain. And then you die. Yeah, because everyone that did it just comes back and like, wow, that was great.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
You get
that was
resuscitated.
beautiful. So they follow Ishida to a warehouse. That was a dark topic.
Anyways.
Where they're fighting, they're getting their asses handed to them. Like the main cast cannot take on these guys. They're getting fucked on.
Classic.
Nova, I don't know if you remember who Nova is. He's one of the mod souls. He's got the zipper. He's the turtle mod soul, the plush. He carries so hard 100%.
I like that guy.
time.
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
He's very quiet. He's funny, and he's got the teleport ability.
Oh.
He's basically that one guy from Black Clover, where he can open the portals and teleport people.
Yes. Finra!
Yes, he's basically that guy. So they start losing, and he's the one who's like, hey, I'll just teleport one of them and keep going back.
Yeah.
Because he's in plush form, so he can't really do much, but he's like, I can teleport like 5 meters or something is what he says. So he just keeps doing it over and over.
Dick move.
And eventually like chucks him off of the second floor and knocks him out. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right? So, and then the like Ichigo is acting like all hot and mighty, like, oh, well, now we could defeat you. I figured it out. You guys can't fight. And then the one bounce like, no, I could probably do it. And so he just starts taking control of the whole thing.
Jesus.
They're about to lose again, by the way. These water guys have had them on the ropes. And Ganju and Hanatoro show up. Okay? We talked about it in the Soul Society arc. I was like, I swear they don't use them that much.
No.
Yeah.
They are in this arc constantly.
That's good.
So Ganju shows up, Sandpaw, and he's like, oh, you need explosives to get rid of that water? I'm the explosive guy.
Right
and just,
here.
Fucking explodes the fucking thing.
That's what I immediately think. I need to get rid of water. What do I need? Explosives.
So, and here's where we find out, by the way. Okay, if you guys haven't seen the previous parts, in the Bleach world, my OC would be a Bount. Okay?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where you find out a huge downside to being a Bount. When their dolls get destroyed, they get all of their age back and die.
Oh.
Hey-ya.
So they destroyed these two twins. They look like probably preteens. They age instantly to an old man and just die.
Ripperoni.
Yeah.
But see,
I forgot about that.
So why did you?
Yeah.
What was the reasoning why you picked being a Bount? Sam?
Because
he gave it in the last
Listen,
one,
watch the last episode. Okay, we're going to re-upload all of those.
There's a
They're
good
fantastic.
fucking reason.
But that is a huge downside.
But I feel like you're the kind of person who is so run the course, like do not fuck with anybody.
Yeah.
Like Sam,
I would mind my own business.
He minds his own business, but Sam has always played like a pirate character in like any game, and even if he's not a pirate, he plays like a fucking pirate, almost a cowboy, if you will. I feel like Sam would just do his own fucking thing, and the moment there's immediately trouble, he's just like, oh, you know what, this isn't my time. This isn't worth my time. I'm out.
The moment I'm on the losing step, yeah,
he dips out.
Bye.
And that doll is in like an iron cage.
Cause it's cool. Cause they basically summon shit and they fight. That's how they do it.
Yeah.
But then you find out that if the thing they summon gets destroyed, they're done. So it's like you can't even really use it like in that fucking Jump to Zuka book we read. You can't even use it as a shield because if it gets destroyed, you're done.
Oh yeah.
So it's a dangerous game they're playing, but the Bounts don't seem to give a fuck. They fight with those things constantly.
They had to, because I wonder if they just felt like they were so powerful that they didn't have any natural predators.
So and here's where you find out, by the way. We get to see the first collection because there's a group of Bounts. You find out, and it's like you thought it was just kind of like Snake Guy.
It's a count of Bounts.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So you find out that you think it's Snake Guy, the girl, and Karya, I think is the main Bounce bad name, the guy who looks really cool, red
with the silver hair.
Yeah, silver hair.
Yes.
You find out that he's like kind of assembled a group of them. And so the chosen Bounts have a Soul Reaper with them. Do you guys remember anything about this?
Nope.
So
there was one dickhead, wasn't there?
Yeah. Yes. So Karya, he has like basically a Soul Reaper who's like simping for him hard. He's like, oh, I'll protect you. You saved my life. I didn't have anything else. Who is the Soul Reaper and where did he come from?
Oh, it's a he?
Yes.
Oh.
Just take a guess.
You mean like
a squad?
Like what squad?
Take a squad. Where did he come from?
It's not from Aizen Squad, is it?
Yeah, if you want to guess that.
That's
I'm gonna guess somebody from Aizen Squad.
5. I was gonna say Squad 4.
Who's Squad 4? What captain?
Unahana, I think.
Okay, so you would almost be right, Jose. He came from Kenpachi's squad.
11?
Okay.
What hairstyle did he have?
So let me explain here. I gotta go back. He came from Kenpachi's squad when Kenpachi took over.
Oh, that's right.
As he was
Kenpachi.
mad.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, he was mad that was even allowed, that was a thing, and he thought that Kenpachi was basically like a savage. So and then he tried to challenge Kenpachi to a duel, and Kenpachi was like, "No, you couldn't even stand a second." And then he let him try to attack him, and Kenpachi just blocked him, and he was like, "Yeah, this is a waste of time."
Fuck.
So this Soul Reaper's name is called Maki.
Okay.
Which is not to be confused with Maki Maki, who is the character that we have already met at this point, who's the funny guy from the Kenpachi squad that you don't really see
He's more after with the little slick back with the mustache.
Yes. And so
he's the guy that Ichigo makes fun of all the time.
Oh, that's right.
So once again in this, by the way, Maki, who is the guy with the Quincy's now, okay, he refers
Bounts.
to the man who Kenpachi defeated.
So it wasn't even a woman.
Wasn't even a woman at this point.
And Sam, tell me why this is a problem.
Once again, in fucking Thousand Year Blood War arc, you find out that Unohana was the previous Kenpachi, and that was the one that Kenpachi Zaraki defeated.
Which was a great twist.
Yes.
Everyone was
But it is
astounded.
so clearly not set up.
She was the Kenpachi, and in order for him to unlock his powers, he had to kill her, or something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens in Thousand Year Blood War. But
what's crazy to me, and it's almost like they have this reoccurring theme of we didn't pay attention. They have two characters in the same squad, that has a huge plot twist that they fucked with the same name.
Yeah.
Maki and Maki.
Here's my thing where I think that maybe it is a translation thing. I think there are words in Japanese that are androgynous.
Yeah.
Like it could mean either or depending on how you're using it. So I'm giving total benefit of the doubt with no logic behind it. There is a chance that whenever they referred to him,
He killed Sensei, and they're taking in Sensei.
They
as
could
a
have
he.
just been like assumed that it was a he, and that could be a localization thing. Where like, oh, it's a
Makes
he,
sense.
it's a he, it's a he.
Who did? Is it Funimation? Or
It's Viz Media.
Viz Media. Check your fucking gender biases. Hello.
So it's a very possible reason that is the case. But for the terms of dubs, they refer to him as a man constantly.
Yeah,
Constantly. So at this point, Uryu, he gets saved by the girl again, the girl Bount.
Oh, yeah.
She's
crushing
against
on
the
him.
team, correct?
Yes, she's against the team. She does not like that they're eating real souls. She was a thing with Karia, who's the main bad guy, and she doesn't like him anymore. She thinks that he used her.
Oh, classic.
And classic storyline. So basically, which is weird, Uryu basically blushes every time he talks to her. It's so odd.
I remember
It's
that.
so like they beat you over the head with the fact that Uryu is crushing on this Bount over and over and over.
Die.
Yes. That's one of the last episodes we watched this week. So
You
you find out that the success of the plan for Bounts, as we've discussed before, that really relies on Uryu. She tells him this, like, "Hey, you are so key to the plan." She literally just asked him to stay at her apartment. It's like,
oh yeah.
she's like, "Please don't leave. Stay here. I'm gonna go figure it out.
Take care of
just
things.
fucking stay here."
I wouldn't. No. If I knew, I would have been like, "Well, you gotta keep me here. You gotta say something. You gotta do something.
Yeah.
It's a, you know."
But it seems like that's an obvious thing, but it doesn't last long because Mohawk guy shows up. Mohawk Bount guy shows up, which is the first appearance of him we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Aside from the initial introduction to like the shadowy group of them.
Oh yes. Love that.
So he shows up and he's kind of got like the metallic Bount.
Yeah, it's like
a spider kind of metallic looking
You know
Bount.
what it reminds me of? What are those? The little magnets that you would like smash together.
Oh, the one
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the pegs and the circles.
Yeah.
Like magnetics.
Is that what they were called?
I forget.
No, that's like the little balls.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically like a magnet thing. That's probably pretty accurate. It's like a liquid metallic magnet thing.
Got you.
And so they fight. He basically whoops both of their asses pretty easily. And
Weird
then,
how the Pound powers are just constantly out
it's
of balance.
kind of all over. It's wild. So we cut back. The Mod Souls are trying to find Ishida because he fought the Mohawk guy. And the Mod Souls mentioned they'd be much more capable in their Gigai because they're running around in plushes.
Yeah.
So they're like, it's like if I had my Gigai, which is their body, we'd be much more powerful. It's like, and Ichigo is just like the funniest fucking thing. He's like, I've been meaning to ask. There's 3 of you, so why don't you guys just take turns? Like, use the other person to get the thing out of you and then put it into the body. And then they're both just like, wait, we could do it. And so they immediately cut to them hauling ass back home to go do that. And so you see them each, like, they go into one house, one person comes out. They go into another house, one person comes out.
I love
it's
it.
so good. The Mod Souls are funny. The Mod Souls are really
I
great.
hope you tell us at this point that you finished the Bount arc and that you hope that they use them more because you felt like it was
I
the
know
same
they
thing
use
with-
them more in almost every filler arc.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
think
that's,
they
remember
they come
when I
back one
watched
more
it the
time.
first time, you could pretty much tell when a filler arc was going to happen when they show up.
Okay.
So they definitely do use them.
I think that's a fair way to do it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So they're trying to find the Bounts because they've taken Ishida at this point. They're like, oh, fuck, we got to find him. He lost the Mohawk guy. They've taken him and the girl. And so they basically find a mansion of an incredibly rich guy, and they're like, yeah, we kind of think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
No fucking way.
Yeah. The old-timey mansion looks like it'd be a vampire house. Yeah, that's probably it. So that's their logic.
Town?
Yeah, on the outskirts.
Of course.
Okay. It can't be there.
No, it wouldn't make any sense for it to be there. So they call the ex-Kenpachi squad a man a couple more times when they're talking in this mansion. And because Maki's kind of explaining his thing, we get some backstory. And that's when we find out, like, he tried to find Kenpachi, yada, yada, yada. His whole goal is he wants to avenge the death of his captain, which he says is death, by the way. He wants to avenge the death of his captain. So Maki thinks that his captain's dead. Okay. All right? And I do feel like I remember Unohana mentioning that she faked her death or like took another personality. Yeah. So that is possibly canon. I cannot remember. So there's a little bit of kerfuffle that goes on. Ichigo and team show up. They raid the mansion. It basically ends up with Ichigo being in the main hall with all the other Bounts, and they're like, yeah, we're going to fight. And so Snake Guy, who we've seen since the beginning of the Bount arc, he's like, yeah, I'll fight him. Let me fight Ichigo. No big problem. And Ichigo's like, well, why aren't you guys just going to jump me? You know? Yeah. He's like, yeah, clearly you guys could just jump the fuck out of me.
Doesn't he get callous and basically says, I could take you all on?
He goes Bankai immediately.
Yeah. So the Snake Guy says, like, hey, we have like a really strict honor code here. It's like we
okay.
It's like because the whole setup to Bounce, and this is why it's weird that why everybody's freaking out. They live a very like solitary life usually. Yeah. They never group up. They don't want to. They work for themselves.
Not until we need them for a story plot.
Yeah. Well, that's like the kind of the setup. So they're like, now that we're grouping, it's like now Soul City's like, fuck, what's going on? Like why are they doing that? It's like they're grouping up. They're up to no good. So he's like, nah, we'll just have a one-on-one fight. Snake Guy kind of beats Ichigo's ass. It kind of is how it goes. And so the Snake Guy, which is so fucking classic of a Snake character, you find out that he's trying to snake his way to be the leader. Okay, so it's every time you see a fucking Snake character, they're gonna do some sort of betrayal. It's just an anime trope that's happened to the end of fucking time. So he basically is like, yeah, listen, nobody's gonna fight you, and he's like, watch. So he turns to the leader. He's like, Kadia, put down, because all of the Bounts, the way the dolls are summoned, they have like a token or like a trinket that's special to them. Yeah. He's like, put yours down, and then like. That way he knows you're not gonna attack. He's like, yeah, okay. So he puts it down on like a step in front of him.
Aye.
So they fight.
Gets jacked.
He beats his ass. Ichigo, he's like, the Snake Guy's like, yeah, I won. Ichigo gets up, fucking like does a Getsuga Tensho, and it's all smoky and shit. Snake Guy hides away for a second. He's like, oh, this is my opportunity. So Ichigo's saying like he wants to fight Kadia. Snake Guy yoinks his doll. He's like, I have the doll. I should be the leader now. What's up? Yeah. And that's when you basically find out Kadia is like, well, I don't need the doll to beat your ass. And he just like fucking
fucks him up, right?
Sends him flying. Like, yeah, you're out. Sorry, mate.
Oh, so Ichigo's like, naturally, I can kick that guy's ass.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah. Wow.
So they fight. Ichigo gets absolutely dumpstered on because that's just, it's the way, he can't win so early on in the story. That's just the way it goes. And it leads with the Bount was going to fucking kill Ichigo because he wanted to taste, like, see what he would taste like. But he goes like, yeah, actually, you're not as tasteful as the Quincy, so someone else can finish him.
Damn.
Which is just like
classic.
So then the Soul Reaper, Maki, goes to fight him, demolishes fucking Ichigo as well. Ichigo basically just gets fucking dumpstered.
Wait, Maki beats him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, come on. He's a third-rate character.
Important to know here, Ichigo, not once this whole time has used Bankai.
He hasn't
does
gone
not
Bankai
use Bankai.
Almost.
Renji doesn't use Bankai. They don't use Bankai because they just showed him. Here's my theory. They just showed it in the Soul Society. They don't know exactly what it does yet.
Oh, makes sense.
So I think they're just waiting until the manga like shows it again so they can know more what it actually does. Because from what you see of Ichigo's Bankai, he go fast. What you see of Renji's Bankai is just got like a big snake thing and he can control it. But it's like, what else can you do?
A big snake thing? He tried to
can't do any like, special tricks to trick you into like, plot armor.
So you find out also that Bounts and Quincy's were once like immortal enemies. So kind of think of like
Quincy's are dicks. Yes. Okay, let's just be real.
So you kind of think Quincy's were kind of like the vampire hunters back in the day.
No
way. And so you kind of see
Van.
Yeah. So you kind of see like an old style like battle happening in a forest. And one of the Bounts dolls looks so much like a werewolf. Like I swear to God, they're just like, yeah, look, they're like the monsters, and these are the vampires, and the Quincy's fought them. Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Quincy's a fucking dickhead.
So then they do this arc, and I think this is the most egregious part of the Bount arc I've seen so far, because it kind of fucks with Ichigo's character. They get rescued. You know, Yoruichi shows up. You know, other squad shows up, save them.
Is she only cat form in this?
No, she's actually human form for
she's
most of it.
Wow.
So they go back. They're having like a roundtable discussion at Urhara's shop. And Ichigo is like a downer. He's just like a big downer the whole time. And he basically is like, yeah, I don't think I can beat him.
You can't.
He's like, at my current ability, like as I am right now, it's like, I just can't beat him. And so everybody's like, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with you? And so he goes on to fucking mope the whole fucking time.
No.
To the point where, this is a nice part, Ganju shows up. Like, again, he fucking tears the ass, just flies through Urhara's shop. And he's like, yeah, I felt a gloomy spiritual energy. So, or gloomy spiritual pressure is the exact words he used. So you can just tell that somebody's gloomy, apparently. And so Ganju went there and was like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Yeah. It's like, so at that point, Ganju and Renji are like, oh, we're going to go train and we'll like beat it out of you, whatever. Yeah. But I don't think ever Ichigo in the whole series has been a quitter like that.
I would be fine.
Has there been a time where he's just like down in the dumps because he thinks he's gonna be a loser?
We've talked about like when he's fought like Grand Fisher the first time. He got murdered essentially. He was bleeding out. I'm like, yeah. He should have given up then. Like if there was any point in time, I would give up. And when Byakuya showed up and murdered him.
Yeah, he never gives up. Yeah. He runs head first into shit. Yeah. Which is something Renji says. Renji was like, yo, you didn't act like this when you ran into Soul Society. He's
he
like,
didn't have a father character die.
He's like, I know, I don't think I can do it. It's like, God, this is so depressing. It was really bad. And luckily, it was only for an episode.
Yeah, he was sad when he got his ass beat by Grimjo. But then he got his mask.
But he gets over it. It's just like, it was dumb part.
That was a good fight. But it almost feels like, remember, we talk about it quite often in the Naruto situation.
Yeah.
When Jiraiya died, that was one of the few times Naruto had an obligation to be fucking sad. Worst part of the fucking game.
But it's not like he's sad. He just acted like a bitch about it the whole time. He's like, oh.
Well, if you only played the Naruto game, he looked like a little bitch too.
Yeah. You moped the whole way back.
I don't think I can do it. I don't think. It's like, God, get over it, dude. It's like, that was a dumb part. I didn't like that part. That's my only part I haven't liked so far. So, you find out also that every single Bount that exists to this point in time were all born within the same short time period.
Oh, so there was an anomaly.
There was a genetic defect that they mentioned that born all of them in the same sort of short time period. And there's not been any since then.
Huh.
Oh.
So those are the only ones, and they can't ever give birth. So they kind of mention it's like kind of ironic. We live forever, but we can't ever make anything.
Oh, dude, Ishida, get it. She can't get preggers.
Yep. So at this point, Urhara has both Ishida and the girl's name is Yoshino. The girl Bount has both of them under his care. And Yoshino goes to sneak out because she's like, oh, I'm going to go try and finish it myself, which is so classic, done over and over. Yep. And so she's like, sneaks out while Ishida's sleeping. And both Urhara and Yoriichi see her leave. And they're both like, we could stop her, but she's just going to go again. So
I've been thinking about it since you told me that Yoriichi especially was in it. Her and Urhara could probably end this whole thing.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah, easily.
Easy.
They're so powerful.
But it's like a lot of it. They play games. Like you can even the Soul Society stuff. Like
they could have ended a lot of people's lives there.
Yeah, but it's like Urhara likes to let people like grow. You know, that's kind of what I would chalk it up to. Like he lets Ichigo do shit.
He's the papa.
Do shit that he could do easily because Ichigo will learn something from that. Yeah. Like just send him in.
I don't need to die today.
Yeah. So Yoshino goes to fight with Karia, and she fuses with her Bount.
Oh no!
So she has the cool fire Bount. That's hers.
Yeah.
Or the doll. And so she's fighting, and Karia is just like basically dodging, zipping and dodging, and then fucking Ishida shows up, and it's a whole fucking shindig.
Why would he do this?
She literally tells him, "You're key to the plan. Just stay away." And he's like, "Oh, I gotta go save her," because he doesn't say it, but he's simping hard and he loves her. So he shows up. Now he's in the fucking way.
If only he knew he was in a filler arc.
Yeah, seriously.
He'll never see her again.
Yoshino's getting her shit pushed in, and eventually he Karia destroys her doll. And Karia's go on this thing, by the way, where he goes, hey, you're really special because you have this maternal power with your
I remember
doll.
this.
Yeah. Yes. So she has some sort of maternal bond with her doll where the doll actually cares for her. Like, he has not like Uryu feelings.
Mother-daughter.
But but like feelings for her. So she fuses with her doll using her special maternal powers. That's how she does it. And so at that point, Karia fucking glacks her. Just absolutely glacks her. Well, she fuses. They have a cool fight. Stabs her right through the fucking chest. Just donezo. And so he absorbs her.
No. God damn it.
After killing her and uses it to make new dolls. So I don't know if you remember, he makes these new dolls, and they basically look like little mosquitoes. They're like flying mosquitoes with like a large sack on the back of them. So the new dolls, what they do is they go around Karakura Town and they suck out high quality souls where they're like really pure and really nice. And
normally that would be anybody in Ichigo's gang.
Yes, yes. And so the Bounts basically use them to dope up. Like that's basically how they're used. They can open the sack and it's in like a vial, and they dope up on it.
Nice.
So Keigo, do we know who Keigo is?
Keigo. Yes, that's his friend. Ichigo's friend, the brown-haired kid.
Ichigo's friend, brown-haired loser guy.
Yeah, the one that's always
always
wants to hang out.
I thought it was an exercise.
He gets his soul sucked out by these dolls. So he's walking home because anybody in Ichigo's gang has
anybody's
And so he gets attacked by these things. He dodges a couple of them, and then he starts getting his soul sucked out. That's when Ichigo shows up.
Meanwhile, you've seen everyone else that's been sucked out. They die in like 2 seconds.
Yes.
This guy's got it in for 30
That is actually
minutes.
exactly what happens. They show somebody get sucked out before, and he's like done instantly. And by the way, this is interesting. It's not in my notes. The Stealth Force, which is Soifan's
Squad
crew,
2.
they are there. Like Soifan is in the series, but she hops back and forth because she's helping out Yoruichi.
Yeah.
But the ninja Stealth Force people are there, and they try to attack these little mosquitoes, and they can't hit them.
What the fuck?
Bullshit.
Yes.
Bullshit.
Yes. And they're like,
Ichigo
sorry,
gets it in one hit.
we failed. We couldn't get them. And it's like, come on, they're fucking Stealth Force.
You have 3 god tier captain characters in one fucking city with a squad, and you're like, these randos, we can't fight them.
Just to clarify, it was just the Stealth Force. Like,
but
just like Soifan was not there. It was
still.
I know. Still, I agree.
If Maki can beat fucking Ichigo, the Stealth Squad should be able to kill a mosquito.
Yeah, Maki's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah.
So, Keigo gets it out, and they haven't really. So I thought this was a fantastic use of filler for Keigo, because they do a nice thing where it's like you see that Ichigo actually really cares for Keigo as much as he likes to shit on him constantly. Mm-hmm. And so like he's about to die, Ichigo's kind of like cleared off the shit from him. And you get this point
kinda
where
like
Ichigo, of course,
Josh's Keigo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you get this part where like Ichigo is kind of like, there's a weird thing happening here. Okay, let me go back. Where Renji saves a little kid, but he's in Soul Reaper form, so it's like the little kid can't see him.
Oh, that's right.
So it's like they try to talk, but then like even Renji was like, "Oh right, you can't see me." Mm-hmm. And then so Ichigo kind of does the same thing. Where it's like, Keigo, it's like, I'm gonna save you, don't worry. And Keigo sees him, and he's like, Keigo's kind of like crying, and he's like, Ichigo, just run, just like get away. Like Keigo tells him, just leave him. Yeah. And so there's a nice flashback where like Ichigo remembers all of that stuff, and then Ichigo's like, you can see me? Because like he's in Soul Reaper form at this point, and the Bount shits down his throat. The Bount is basically like, well,
oh no, I know what it is.
When you're close to death, you can see Soul Reaper, so he's gone. It's like, sorry, mate. And he even gives the full explanation. Even if you somehow got his soul back and tried to put it back into his body is so weak at this point, he wouldn't be able to handle it.
Damn.
Oh,
yeah.
It's one of the Bouts.
So who remembers? Let me ask you a question. Who remembers the fight Ichigo and the Mohawk guy fight at this point?
I don't.
And this is the Mohawk guy now doped up on newly doped drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That good.
Who remembers anything about this fight?
I don't.
Okay.
I vaguely remember it, but I can't remember jack shit, to be honest.
So once again, Ichigo gets his shit absolutely pushed in.
As he should.
Nonstop. And of course, he's trying to fight and kind of save Keigo at the same time. The Bount is doped up, so he's more powerful than normal. He's got a couple of factions going against him, and he's not going Bankai. Never goes Bankai this whole fight.
Yeah.
So he gets his ass whooped. They kind of run, and Ichigo's like, no, I need to go back and save Keigo. And then the Bount shows up again. He's like, yeah, you do need to go back and save Keigo, but I'm not going to let you leave. So then they kind of trap him like a metallic spider web, and they're like, we're going to make you fight. He tries to fight. He gets locked up, and they basically lash him. Like, they have him like this, and they lash him constantly because the running theme for the doll, for the Mohawk guy, is she likes playing with her food. She's kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's doped up and she wants to fuck with her new powers. So she takes his sword because the Mohawk guy's like, stop playing with him. Like, just fucking finish it. Let's move on. She takes his sword and is about to stab him with it. Stab him with his own sword.
I feel like that's a really bad idea to do to Ichigo because I feel like that's unlocking hollow power at that point.
Okay.
It should have.
Yeah.
So, and he goes Ichigo mode.
No, I knew it!
He goes Ichigo mode. He's about to get fucking stabbed. You see Ichigo's eyes kind of close. They do like a slow black thing.
Oh, yeah, the black fade.
And then he catches the sword and you hear the laugh.
Fucking nut.
You hear the Ichigo laugh. And immediately they're like, what are you? And he's like, he's like, that Ichigo guy, he's a novice. He's
I love it.
Ichigo just whoops the doll's ass instantly.
That's so good.
It's like, yep, we're going to fight. Pushes her back, cuts the doll in half. Okay, just
I love it.
Instantly. And then they do the classic thing that they just did in the Byakuya fight. So you have to destroy like the core of the doll.
You knew exactly where I was going with that. Okay.
So he cuts him in half, just like in the fight with Byakuya, Ichigo tears the fucking mask off.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. He doesn't want to win like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he was about to die.
That's exactly what happens. So,
I could write a fucking Bleach episode.
yes, he tears the mask off, and he's so exhausted he collapses.
Oh my!
And
God.
the Mohawk guy is still there.
So he's just
and
gonna.
so the Mohawk guy is right over him, and he's like,
stabs.
he's like, I don't know what that was, but it's like, we're gonna go ahead and finish you now. And he resummons his doll, and he's like, yeah, she's still good. Because like, yeah, you cut her in half, but it's like she's been splitting herself up all fight.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm just gonna put her back together. It's like, here she is. And that's where this episode ends. Is they're standing over him, and a couple of key points that I didn't put in the notes here. They are setting up that Yumichika, Rangiku,
the usual squad?
69 guy,
Oh, okay.
and
Ikaku.
Wabisuke guy are going to be headed to the real world to help out.
Why?
So my running theory is he will be saved by one of them.
Yeah.
Because at this point he's just done. And Rukia is fighting somebody else. She's fighting the girl. There's another girl, Bount, who's like part of the evil side. She's got a sword that's like connected to a fan, and that's her doll.
Mm-hmm.
Chad, Nova, and
dude, I feel bad for all side characters. If Ichigo gets dunked on like that fucking hard, they all got
so
fucking
Chad
murdered.
and Nova are fighting the old man Bount, who looks really old, and he sits in like a throne. He's kind of like Baragon.
Okay, yeah,
but
yeah.
before Baragon even existed.
We wanted to develop his character before he came in.
And there's another Bount. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, and then the little red-haired kid from Urhara shop, I can't remember his name at the point in time. He's going to go try and find Renji because Renji saved that little kid, as I mentioned, and he's trying to find him.
So I don't want to derail too hard, but I don't remember. Are those kids, are they from Soul Society? The two of them?
So I don't remember. I will let you know when I get there because I don't remember what they are, but I almost feel like they are some sort of weird mod soul type
That's
thing.
That's what I thought too, but I can't remember either.
I think that's the case.
The little girl's name is like Ururu?
Yeah.
Yeah, the boys starts with a J.
Genta.
Genta, yeah.
Yep.
I love them too.
If
They're
you guys
funny.
know, leave a comment because we're totally okay. We know everything that happens, but our memories are shit. So if you know, leave a comment and let us know because I don't remember exactly. And they set up, so the whole time, Kadia, the main bad guy, he's kind of like a mysterious classic vampire bad guy. Like, he's not an asshole. He's gathering his guys. They've been treated like shit. He wants to feast on human souls, which is kind of bad. But, like, he just wants to not be treated like a fucking dickhead anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing what he's got to do for his people.
In this part, he goes full dickhead. He is officially to do the classic thing. Hey, this just to let you guys know, he's a bad guy. He's going to just be a prick the rest of the time.
Yeah, his eyes did the thing.
So he gets the dope drugs, and there's one of the Bounts that's there with him, and he's an orange-haired Bount, kind of got like a hipster hairstyle, and he doesn't want to do it. He's like, yeah, listen, I'm not cool with the whole human soul thing. I thought we were going to gather up and just do our thing. I'm not cool with doing the human soul thing. And
you know, normally you could go to HR to have a quick talk, be like, you know what,
so,
I just don't feel it.
Not in the Bounts, because Kadia is like,
Captain
hey,
Commander
next time you speak, you better make sure you agree with me, and then beats the shit out of him.
Damn.
Nice.
And so he basically locks him away, and like because they're in a cave, and he puts him in a side cave, and he's like, hey, he goes over to him. He's like, hey, did you change your mind yet? You want to try these things? And the guy's like, no, I'm not going to do it. He forces him to take the drug.
Hey,
he pulls him out by the hair.
His hipster hair?
Yes.
Yep.
Forces him to take the drug, and then now he's like classic, like he's addicted to that shit. Like he doesn't go out with the rest of the gang. He stays back in the cave, and he's like fucking in a huddle.
He's
like,
fiending and shit.
He's not doing well.
God, I love any time they bring in like a new power source and it's a drug thing.
But like I liked Kadia for the most part. It's like he's like your classic like cool vampire guy,
Like
silent, cool, strong
silent,
guy. And then he's just now like, hey, we need to make sure the viewer knows that he's for sure a bad guy.
Yeah.
So he's gonna do these horrible things to his own people, so you know that he's just a prick.
See, I like questionable, horrible things. Like I think
horror.
I don't think Thanos is a good example, but he is a very well developed character in my opinion. Where it's like, you can side with his
in
logic.
his mind, he was a good guy.
Yeah.
In this guy's mind, I think he knows he's a bad guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way they've written him, and that sucks. And they also, it is important to know also, and then you can say what you're gonna say. He is fused with his Bount or his doll by the way as well.
Okay.
But we haven't seen what that means aside from he's just incredibly strong
It's
by himself.
wind, isn't it?
I think that is the case.
Yeah.
I don't know Jose. But he
It's
basically
like,
scarred or like wrote his doll onto his chest.
Oh.
So they're like a together.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And that's how he beat Yoshino when she was fused. He's like, yeah, I've done that years ago. And just like,
He's like, let me show you what it's
Beat his-
really
beat
like.
her
So
ass.
what was his doll then?
we don't know at this point. So he hasn't even really fought seriously yet.
Do you think he was goading people like I have a doll?
When he fought Ichigo like he shot him
Tattooed
across
himself.
the room. Ichigo tried to get up and he just held him there, like with his finger like that, and then just flicked him and fucking sent him flying. So he's incredibly strong, but we don't know any of his powers yet because I'm pretty sure he fights in Soul Society, and that's when we'll find out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does.
So the previews for next time, which is kind of the previews for our next Bleach Boys podcast, we're going to get a lot of backstory on Mohawk Guy, is what it looks like.
Oh,
a lot of backstory on Mohawk Guy.
We wanted it, right?
It is who we need because he survives. So that's
we know he survives.
That's going to be important to us later.
That was not important to us before.
He survives, and then they mentioned that somebody comes to save Ichigo. So that is going to be kind of what happens. Is somebody?
You guys want to place bets on who saves Ichigo? We got Yamichika,
It's going to be
Izuru,
somebody who knows him.
Rangiku.
I
only got 3.
Oh, and
Shue. No, she only smothers
Hitsugaya.
So, and there is a possibility of Hitsugaya being there as well, because Hitsugaya is the one that is passing the information to these 4 lieutenants that they're going to be the ones to go.
How's his dub voice?
It's fine. I don't have a problem with Hitsugaya's
remember
voice.
liking it. Yeah.
Hitsugaya's voice is good.
Yeah, because his Japanese voice is Edward.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I haven't watched that, so I wouldn't know.
So it's good though. But he's gonna be saved by someone, and then I don't know what it's gonna. I imagine everybody's gonna be saved. There's 4 fights going on. There's 4 people showing up. I imagine.
Each one's gonna get one.
Yeah.
How convenient.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I imagine that's gonna be the case. But so far, I just want to reiterate, I am liking this arc.
It sounds really
pretty good.
We've talked about cliches, and like you kind of like JJ's summed it up pretty well. It's cool to use them as long as you do something slightly different. Like we can write an episode of any anime, I think, at some point, but it doesn't mean it's going to be good. But yeah, it sounds fine. I think it's the same thing as like Ant-Man 2. They put it right after fucking Infinity War, and it's like,
that's
who
the
cares?
problem.
You're just like, yikes.
So that's the problem. And then we have that problem too, where all these people are showing up into the real world, and I think that ruins that happening later.
Yeah,
because that's the thing that happens in actual, like the Urhara arc when they start showing up. That happens again. But then it's like, oh, we already saw like fucking 8 people show up in the Bount arc, so what's the point, you know?
Also, does his friend really die?
I don't know.
No,
Keigo,
he does.
still
Keigo's fine.
Yeah, it's a filler arc.
It's a filler arc.
Like, so he's gonna get fixed somehow.
See, that's
how
I know.
That's the sad part, because you've talked about it before, where it's like in a filler arc you should go for comedy because you can't.
Because they can't affect the story. They just can't.
Part of me, I'm sitting here like, why can't they? They should be able to. And then I realize it's like, well, then it's just part of the story.
Yeah.
It's like shit.
Yeah. So they just can't.
Yeah.
You guys have anything else to say about the Bount arc? We're smack in the middle of it, so we're not at the climax yet. But
I think that's good though.
Yeah.
It's gotten me hooked. Like we've talked about it on the side, and I've really wanted to rewatch.
It's easy to forget all of the shit that happened because a lot of this stuff I've watched and probably read. I don't fucking remember. It's like
I wonder if it's a does it matter kind of thing.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. Yeah,
it's a filler arc.
They never bring it back up.
It doesn't add anything really. They don't ever come back to this filler arc because I think people fucking hated it.
The thing that's weird for me is, so whenever Sam asks, "Oh, do you guys remember this?" I actually cannot picture any of it in my mind. I just know those things happen, which is like really weird to me.
Yeah,
that's a science experiment.
Because it's got a couple things going against it. It's the first filler arc, which everybody's gonna hate no matter what, because it's a fucking filler arc. It sucks.
Yeah.
They kind of do the vampire thing, and hit or miss on vampires at that point. I think when this was coming out, vampires were all the rage.
Oh, so, Twilight. Yeah.
Twilight, dude. Yeah.
And then it's just like it goes for too long.
It's 40 episodes? Or
I don't
like
know
that?
the length on it, but I don't even think I'm halfway through it as of right now.
Damn.
So I think it's still got a very long time left, and the fight scenes are not great.
Oh.
So
would you say you get about 2 episodes per workout, and you get about 5 workouts a week?
Yes, 2 episodes workout. So it's like I'm watching it 2 episodes at a time. The fight scenes, and I mentioned this before in the Soul Society arc, the fight scenes compared to the fight scenes we get now in modern anime, they're just so much better.
Yeah.
Like the modern anime fight scenes compared to Bleach. But they have that classic feel, and it's very clear with this filler arc. They just kind of like, they do a few slashes, they talk. They do a few slashes, they talk.
Yeah.
But I like a lot of the characters. I like the comedy. I like the mod souls. They do really, as we mentioned before, they take this time to like build the relationships stronger. Because like the gang's hanging out. They're hanging out with Urhara a lot. Genta and Ururu are constantly there. Renji's hanging out with them. So it's like you get a lot of that fun stuff in there.
Yeah.
The one person the 2 people they do a bit of a disservice to is I feel like Ishida. They kind of dunk on him a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, he was supposed to be powerless.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he lost his girlfriend.
Yes, and they kind of dunk on Ichigo as well. He gets constantly dunked on. They do more damage to Ichigo than Ishida for sure. There is one more part I want to talk about in the Bount arc, and then we have something special we're going to talk about at the end of this. Urhara talks to Ishida before he goes to leave. Before he goes to try and save Yoshino when he ruins it.
Instead of just saying, hey, don't think this is a good idea.
So he talks to him. Actually, it wasn't that part. So he is trying to fucking leave again. Okay. Which, God, just stay in one place, Ishida. Please, for the love of God.
So has his girlfriend already died?
Yoshino's died at this point.
Yeah. Oh my
He's
God.
come back to your Urhara shop because he was fucked up. And so he's trying to leave because everybody else is out fighting except for Ishida. So he's going to go try and like do whatever the fuck he thinks he's going to do. So Urhara is like, hey, listen, last time you were there with Yoshino, they told you that they don't need you anymore, right? And he's like, yeah, they did say that. And he's like, but when they first caught you, they said that you were key to the plan, correct? And he was like, yeah. He's like, so which one do you think is the truth?
Ooh.
And so he's basically like, hey, you do you, but listen, I think you're going to fuck this whole thing up. Because then they kind of like, Ishida's like, just doesn't really say anything and leaves. And Urhara's like, such a young guy. You just go and have to listen to it. But like, he basically trying to give him nice warnings. Like, I think you're playing right into their hands with this one.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah.
They killed my girlfriend in front of me. What?
Because like he was even there when Kushino got killed by Karia.
Mm-hmm.
He basically is like, I knew you'd come back and do all of this, so thank you.
Just played
so
right
into. He clearly knows what's going on, and Ishida was there. And he's still just going to fucking go do it.
What a dummy.
So that's why I'm saying they kind of disservice his character in Ichigo. They kind of fuck those two.
Yeah.
I think they could have done better on that part.
I feel like Ichigo should have at least won a fight by now.
Yeah, at least one.
I don't think Ichigo
He gets dunked on constantly. Yeah, I don't think he's won a single one yet.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's really sad.
So he didn't even win when they weren't doped up. So it's just it's just weird.
Why don't we make it harder?
Yeah, and they left 5v1 one guy and they lost.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that's kind of everything for this one and our thoughts on the great Bleach rewatch 2020, which is looking like we should end perfectly by the time the anime shows up because I bet it's going to get delayed by coronavirus.
Yeah.
So I imagine at this point, the new anime will be fall 2021. That's going to be my guess.
Yeah.
So we mentioned a little bit earlier, Bleach OC, in my headcanon, I would be a Bounts. Okay?
Yes.
But there was a trend going around on Twitter in the Bleach Twitterverse where you can make your own Bleach Sona. And I think the website is called Shindon Maker. I'll link it in the description if anybody wants to try their own. You put your name in. They will give you your stats, what initial division you would be a part of, your Zanpakuto sealed form, your Zanpakuto Shikai form, have you completed Bankai training, what data book you would appear in, and then your Soul Society family status, or like if you're a noble or not.
Wow.
And then it gives you a stat block of like your classic, you got your offense, defense, speed, keto, intelligence, and stamina, and it kind of allots you points randomly.
Did they tell you if you're on keto?
Yes.
Yeah.
The other keto, but I don't see a keto stat on here.
Got you.
So they kind of give you that, and it's random, and you get a random amount of stats. So, like, an example, we did our friend Danny. He has the most stats out of all of us by
Broken
points.
little shit fuck.
He's 419, I think. And meanwhile, like an example of me, I'm only 346 points. So, like, he has way more points than I do.
Just in general.
Yes,
Gotcha.
but it's like it doesn't mean he's better than me at, like, let's say offense or anything.
Yeah.
So,
Better being a little bitch.
as you guys will see on the screen, I'll go ahead and show our stat blocks. So, we'll do me first.
Okay.
And obviously, this isn't correct because I would be a Bount. Okay.
Yes.
But if I was, this is my Shinigami form, okay? So my stat total is a 346, as I mentioned. My offense is through the fucking roof. Max offense. 100 offense. Okay?
Sam does have a glass cannon vibe.
Speed, I would say, is probably about a 90, is where my
Of
speed is
100?
at. 90 out of 100.
90
They're all
out
out
of
of 100. And my intelligence is at about like a 70. And those are my only redeeming stats.
I feel like that's like if I'm being like one of those real people, I would vibe with that.
Stamina in the dumps. Don't ever work out until recently, so that's accurate.
that makes sense.
He's working on it though, guys.
Defense. Who needs defense when you have offense? Okay. And
Yeah.
Keto / Shiratsu, I'm clearly going to be in Kapachi squad, so fuck them. And speaking of squads, my initial division is in the Shino Academy,
Oh, so you
which
haven't
is
even
I
He's
haven't
not even
even
a
fucking
Reaper.
graduated
Yeah.
school, which is so accurate.
Could you imagine dying?
Yeah.
And then having to become a fucking soldier
I just think it's
and
like
going back to school
I
for it.
hated. Like I had a good time when we were going, but the actual school part of college I hated so
Yeah.
fucking much.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's why I think when we were like, oh, we would be badass characters, like, no, the fuck
No.
we wouldn't.
So I saw that. I was like, that is so perfect.
Yeah.
It's like I would just be hanging out in the academy. No, thank you. Don't want to try. I'll just go do something else.
They just check your whole Twitter and they're like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
what this guy is.
So my sealed appearance of my Zanpakuto is just your classic katana, which is
Okay.
just basic. I think
That's all you could ask for.
most people have that in the Bleach show. It's just
Yeah.
a katana. My Zanpakuto Shikai form, here's where it gets crazy. A club. Okay? They gave me the max offense. They gave me the max speed.
You just clubbing people to death, dude.
It's not a finesse weapon.
No, it's not a finesse weapon.
Here's my theory. They knew he played Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah. Hagar.
Yep,
they're like, this man who knows what to do with a blunt weapon.
I basically club the fuck out of people is my go-to strategy here.
You know, and it that seems like such a Sam move, and it's like, oh, what's your Zanpakuto? I got a fucking club, bitch.
Doesn't Kenpachi have
yours
like a club
turns
at the
into
end?
like 3 little swords? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Mine's just a club.
Yeah.
It hurts people.
Yeah,
and,
it's got the...
It does damage.
Did you ever watch Walking Dead?
Yeah, so release for mine, a club. Okay, but here's an interesting part. Remember, I'm still in school. Bankai training completed.
He's a damn prodigy.
I know my Bankai. I've got it. I can't graduate the school.
But Sam, according to the latest episodes, it takes thousands upon thousands of years, and you have to be in one of the elite families. Are you in an elite family, Sam?
I am middle class.
Yes.
So
that would be you to a fucking T.
Yep.
This is Sam completely. He peaked. He didn't graduate.
Yeah.
He didn't give a fuck about status quo, and he's just very fast.
So, and then this is kind of irrelevant information. I don't know what the point of it knowing this is.
What it's saying.
But the data book I appear in is number 4, the rebooted Souls, which I think that takes place after the story. I think. So I think that's one of the last data books.
That's pretty cool.
That's the one I would appear in. I don't know know
so
what.
if you're showing up after the anime, you're broken as fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
God.
So
damn
I don't know.
That's why he had his Bankai. He just didn't finish
I don't
school.
know what the point of knowing that is, because I know we have the 3rd one at the store. I'm pretty sure, and it's called Unmasked, and that has like the visors and the stuff in it. So maybe that's at the end of the Aizen arc. I don't remember.
Still in a broken as fuck section.
So let's go to Josh next.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so if we remember, my stat total is 346. Josh, 356.
Woo!
He's a 10 plus. Initial division, 13th division.
Which one's
now, Jose, tell him which I know. Obviously, you tell him.
It's Ukitake's.
Ukitake.
Wait, Cough of Blood captain?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's I'd simp for him.
So, but I'm pretty sure he is not the captain after the end of the series. Do you know who that is? Because I don't.
Know
his current captain.
Yeah.
So I think he's still currently the captain during the Blood Work arc.
Yeah, but I'm saying after that, I don't think he is.
I don't remember who was his current.
I don't remember.
I know why.
It might be Kenshi.
Oh
no, Kenshi took Tozen's spot.
I was thinking it might be Rukia.
Rukia becomes a captain?
I bet it's Rukia. I'm taking a total guess.
I bet it's Rukia. She does become a captain.
So your sealed appearance is a daisho.
That's a short katana, correct?
I believe so. It's either someone I can't remember.
Yeah,
someone either got a short katana or a really long katana. So yours is a daisho. And keep your phones ready, because for your Shikai form, you're gonna need to look up something as well.
Okay, let me get a daisho real quick.
Oh.
It is a. That looks like a. What does daisho mean?
We'll just look at a picture of it.
Literally, big little is a Japanese term for a matched pair of traditionally made Japanese swords.
So you're kind of like a 2-sword setup.
Oh, I'm
one
down.
short, one regular size.
I'm down as fuck.
Okay, keep your phone handy, because your Shikai form is a Liuidao.
What?
Liuydao, and it's a Chinese.
I'm sorry.
sword.
Is it all one word?
Yes. Liuydao. Okay. That is your release form.
It looks essentially like a pirate sword.
What does the description on that one say? Back out.
The thing, or willow leaf saber.
Okay.
Which that I like.
Pretty cool.
That. I
yes.
like that a lot. Is a type of dao that was commonly used as a military sidearm for both cavalry. It's cavalry and infantry.
Okay.
So it's
cool.
Yeah, it's got that pirate kind of esque.
So you have two very exotic sword forms.
I am the hipster of the
group.
group.
Yeah,
makes so much sense.
Bankai training just not even started. Haven't even started. It takes thousands of years to perfect, so you're gonna have a long road ahead of you.
If we equate it to our premiere training, Sam just went for it, and I'm just like, that's a lot.
Sam heard a myth about Bankai and was like, I can do that.
Yeah, we just
Sam would
right
be the
in.
3-day guy.
So, data book you appear in though. Number 4 as well.
Oh,
the
cool.
rebooted Souls.
Nice.
So, and your family status is middle class, and I did not mention your stats.
Okay.
So, you have a very interesting kind of stat setup.
You're going to say it, and I'm going to immediately think, oh, these are all useless together.
So, your offense is an 80.
No
That's
shit.
not bad. That's really good.
That's fantastic. Your stamina, also an 80.
Damn.
I would disagree.
Fantastic.
I have asthma.
Yeah. So, and your speed, 100.
No,
Holy
through
shit.
the roof. So your stat setup on that, your offense isn't as good as me. Your speed's a little bit better than mine.
Okay.
So
you're saying me
stamina,
and you could probably go toe and toe.
Yes, I would say easily. Your keto is higher than mine as well, but it's
that makes sense.
It's only about it's 60, which is still good.
Yeah, no, that's not bad.
But then you're really low on defense. You're like a 30 on defense.
I think that's totally
and
fair.
Intelligence is 20.
I also think that's fair.
So,
I
your stat for like attacking something is incredible.
We've talked about it. Like if me and Matthew ever went into like a boxing match,
I'd
would get
love
shit
to
on
watch
because
that.
He can think about stuff.
Yeah, you did mention
I
that.
cannot think.
So that stat block is still incredible. No Bankai, so I'd wipe the floor with you. But
if we were having a fair fight, Bount style, because you're Bount, you wouldn't go Bankai.
So that's yours, which I think is really good.
I like that.
Now we come to Jose, who out of the three of us has the best stats by far. So let's just go back again. 346.
346.
356. Okay.
If this motherfucker's
Jose,
in a 400 range.
391.
You can suck a dick.
Okay.
Boom.
And his stats look incredible. So let's
God
just go ahead and we'll start with the stats on Jose this time. His offense about an 80. So he matches you in offense, Josh.
Yeah.
Stamina way lower, 60.
Okay, so me and Jose are gonna have a fight, and I'm gonna think in my head, and I'm already calculating everything. I know he's about an 80. He's on par with me on offense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually, Jose's stamina is a 60. So 60.
I think I could beat him in stamina.
Yeah, you beat him in stamina.
He's got to win me.
Defense equally low. Yours is a little bit lower. You're about a 30. He's a 40.
Okay.
So Jose has 40 defense.
I just have to play it smart. Wish I could do that.
He's really close to you, 90.
90 in speed?
Yes.
Okay.
So his keto, though, which I don't remember if I think I said your keto. You're a 60.
60.
Jose is also a 60 in keto.
So wait,
but his intelligence
son of a bitch
is an 80.
So Jose's the one having the mental
warrior
conversation.
power.
His is really good. Jose's is almost it's almost an exact triangle with how good it is, which is fantastic.
It's not a point by system. You just get gifted. It's some bullshit.
Yeah. And your initial division, by the way, is fifth division.
So Shinji's afterwards.
Yep. That's yours. Now let's get phones handy here as I talk about the appearance of swords.
Okay.
Wakizashi is your sealed appearance. A Wakizashi. We're only going to need it for that one.
It's a short blade.
I think that's
It's a short blade.
Oh, I thought
it's
it was
a shorter
you
katana.
click it and you can talk to somebody else with another one.
Okay, that's a walkie-talkie. Good joke. Wakizashi is what you have.
It's shorter, about 2/3 the length of a
So
katana.
it's a little bit of a shorter katana. And we don't need the phones for this one because your Shikai release form is a rapier.
Oh,
Everybody knows what a rapier looks like. It's you basically have the same release
mad?
form as the captain, commander, vice captain.
Yeah.
Are you mad?
No, I don't want a rapier. That's
his
just
club,
fucking
dude.
lame.
Okay.
Rapier's so lame. It's
I
like
just have to be smart about
it's like
where
a
I stab.
fencer's sword. That's dumb.
Well, you got the smarts, you dick.
So, here's where Jose is better than you a little bit. He's in progress for Bankai training.
Okay.
So he's started it. You haven't started it.
But
his
I see my
stats are a little
friends.
better than yours. But here's where you have him beat because his family status, he's homeless.
Hell yeah, dude.
He
Fucking idiot.
doesn't have
All
a
I do is
family.
work out.
He's not even low class. He's just straight homeless.
Oh, you're fucking Asta.
And
Lily.
the data book that he appears in is number 3.
Oh,
so
okay.
he is before us is in the
That's why he's got
unmasked
extra
book.
points because
Yeah.
he's been doing it for a little while.
So
Get out the way,
Yeah.
Momo. I'm your lieutenant
so
now.
You're kind of in like the visor book. That's kind of where it doesn't say anything about having a visor mask, but you appear in the same data book as they do. But you have the best stats out of all of us for sure. Mine is much more highs in 3 spots and fuck everything else.
Sam
That's
is like
very-
that. Though.
that-
You
yeah,
are
that is
very,
very
like, I'm
like
just
you.
gonna max out
Yeah.
that stat.
Jose's is a nice spread,
Yeah.
a good spread. Josh, yours is like a square.
Yeah,
So
that's
still
typical.
good. That's a lot of
Square-ass hipster
space.
is where I would go. With.
yeah, and if anybody wants to do their own, I'll have the link in the description down below. It's pretty cool. So what everybody's been doing on Twitter is they post them, and because it gives you like all that background information and stuff too, and then they draw their Bleach Sona
Yeah.
is what they're
Are
called.
we all gonna try and draw our
'Cause
own?
Wasn't it you brought it up in a previous podcast?
Yes.
And you said, "Oh, this artwork looked cool,"
Yes.
and they made this
Yes.
chart, and you was like, "Wow, that's a lot of effort." And
Yep.
then you found out,
Yeah, you just put it in a website and they give it to you.
that's cool.
So they're like making it and they're like giving themselves even more backstory. Like there's a lot of people because obviously it's the Bleach fandom. They're like, oh yeah, I'm like part of the Yoriichi fan club with Soifan, like that kind of thing. And they draw them doing these funny things like here's me hanging out with this, here's me meeting this captain.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's really well done. It's fantastic.
I would say, who cares about your star sign? Do your Bleach Sona and go on your dating apps and
Yeah.
see what girls will fall in love
Hey,
with you then.
squad 5.
Exactly.
School.
Yep.
He's the cool kid.
Homeless.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. And we got done. It was the day after we did the podcast. We were fucking messaging and
it pissed me
off. It was in the middle of the night.
1 a.m. I was trying to text somebody else, and it was just like pop off.
Blink, blink,
and
blink,
I would
blink,
literally,
blink, blink.
10 minutes, I'd come back. 43 messages. I'm like, I can't.
Because we were doing like all of our friends.
Yeah,
we did Danny, JJ, Matthew, my older brother Chris.
Matthew's too good.
We were doing everything.
It wasn't just that. It was, okay, well, JJ, do we want to do James? Do we do Jay? What do we do here?
Yeah.
We did all 3 of them.
And then we're like testing. It's like, wait, I think if it depends on capitalization as well, by the way.
Yep.
So if you don't capitalize your first name, it's different than if you do capitalize your first name. So we just did proper names, capitalized all the way through, so everybody gets the same results. And I think, unfortunately, JJ, you were the worst. I know you're going to watch this. I'm sorry.
Love you, bud.
You were the worst one. We just did James.
Yeah.
Danny was the best.
Danny, Matthew.
By far was the best. Matthew, and then Jose was the third.
I would say of all of us, Danny is one of the more successful ones.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I would say, he's doing.
I would say Matthew's a probably close second on that as well. So
I just did a lot of fighting in high school.
This does feel somewhat accurate.
Works out.
I'm not,
and I'm chilling at my minimum wage job.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
doing nothing. So,
but you got like some like cool badassery in the background.
We're just chilling.
Yeah, that's dope.
So, but it's a lot of fun. So check it out. I thought that'd be fun to talk about because we fucking talked about it for so goddamn long after the podcast, and I wanted to bring it up in something. So those are our Bleach sonas. Obviously, I would be a Bount. Okay, so let's not confuse that. Might be rethinking that now that I know you go fucking straight to old age grave when you get your doll destroyed.
Yeah.
But being a Bount's so cool.
When is this going up, by the way?
So you guys will be watching this on Saturday. Obviously, you guys will already seen this. So every Saturday you can expect a new episode of Bleach Boys. I hope you guys like that. They won't all be this long. We probably went way over.
Yeah.
But
this is the first official one, though.
Yeah, and the stuff where things happens, there will come a time where the episodes I watch are just fucking combat nonstop. Yeah. Specifically, when we get to the climax of the start, that's probably going to be the case. But we're in the thick of it right now where they're basically explaining everything.
Yeah.
So, like, the next episode is going to be more backstory shit. It's just going to be more and more and more.
Yep.
And everybody loves the Bounce stuff, so,
why not?
We got you.
Yep.
So stay tuned. We'll be back. Eventually, we'll get to the good arcs, and then we'll have fun, and then we'll go back to more filler arcs. And I'm waiting until I get to that soccer game filler arc.
I forgot about that.
I can't wait. So be sure to subscribe, and we'll be back every Saturday, as I said. I hope you guys like that. If you have any questions about Bleach or stuff you couldn't remember of the Bount arc, leave a comment. If you know stuff that we didn't because we're dumb, leave it in the comment as well. We'd love to argue with you. So with that, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.